Welcome, miladies of inestimable value. Beware the quiet ones. They're plotting something extraordinary. In a world obsessed with noise, trends, and social validation, there exists a rare breed of women who thrive in silence, the Sigma female. Unlike the extroverts who draw energy from people or the introverts who cautiously blend into the background, the Sigma female stands entirely apart. She's the master of her own universe, unapologetically detached, and most dangerously, always alone. Here's a fact to chew on. Spending time alone isn't just a habit. It rewires the brain, boosting creativity and problem-solving by up to 50%. Now imagine a woman who spends all her time alone. She isn't lonely, she's crafting her next move. While others are busy oversharing on social media, she's outthinking them all in silence. Some say she's an enigma, others say she's a lone wolf. Whatever you call her, one thing is certain. A Sigma female with no need for company is the kind of dangerous you won't see coming, like realizing your funny coworker is actually your boss in disguise. Number 1. She operates from the shadows. She operates from the shadows, and this is where her true power lies. A Sigma female who spends her time alone doesn't need or want the spotlight. She avoids the noise and chaos of attention which most people chase so desperately. This isn't out of fear or insecurity. It's a deliberate choice. By staying in the background, she controls what people see and, more importantly, what they don't. Her movements are subtle but calculated. She observes, learns, and plans while everyone else is distracted by their need to be noticed. Her quiet presence makes her unpredictable, and unpredictability is power. You can't counter a move you don't see coming. This ability to remain unseen while actively shaping her environment gives her an edge most people will never understand until it's too late. What makes her so dangerous is that she's not fighting for recognition. She's not looking to impress anyone. She works quietly on her goals, gaining strength and skill while everyone underestimates her. And when she finally steps forward, her impact feels like it came out of nowhere. But in truth, she's been working on it all along, under the radar, without a single wasted move. Her ability to blend in when she chooses also makes her an incredible strategist. She gathers information, reads people, and maps out the landscape without drawing attention to herself. Her quiet demeanor disarms others, making them comfortable enough to reveal their intentions while she reveals nothing in return. She's a master of remaining in control while appearing neutral or uninvolved. The danger of a Sigma female operating from the shadows is this. By the time you realize she's a player in the game, she's already 10 moves ahead. Her strength lies not in being seen, but in the power of staying hidden until the perfect moment. Number 2. She becomes the ultimate strategist. Her solitude sharpens her mind into a precision instrument, turning her into the ultimate strategist. While others are distracted by the noise of constant interaction and societal expectations, the Sigma female uses her alone time to observe, plan, and execute with ruthless efficiency. She doesn't just think ahead, she anticipates, analyzes, and deconstructs every possible outcome, ensuring that her moves are deliberate and effective. Relationships, careers, and personal ambitions all fall under her calculated lens. In her solitude, she has the clarity to dissect situations without the influence of emotions or external opinions. She knows when to push, when to retreat, and when to strike, making her almost impossible to outmaneuver. Her approach isn't reactive, it's proactive. While others are busy responding to life as it comes, she's already positioned herself in a way that guarantees success or minimizes risk. In relationships, she's a master of balance. She doesn't cling or chase. Instead, she evaluates dynamics like a chessboard, ensuring she invests only in people and connections that align with her goals and values. This detachment doesn't make her cold, it makes her efficient. She doesn't waste energy on drama or manipulation, and anyone trying to outwit her quickly learns they're playing a losing game. Professionally, her strategy is unmatched. She works in silence, avoiding unnecessary competition or distractions, and delivers results that speak louder than any performance. People rarely see her coming, and by the time they notice her influence, she's already solidified her position. Her ability to strategize without distraction makes her a force to be reckoned with. She doesn't play games, she designs them, And when she plays, it's always on her terms, with outcomes that are anything but accidental. Number 3, she becomes a knowledge weapon. A Sigma female who spends her time alone doesn't waste it scrolling aimlessly or indulging in shallow distractions. Instead, she immerses herself in learning, turning her solitude into a relentless pursuit of knowledge. She reads, researches, analyzes, and questions everything, feeding her insatiable curiosity and sharpening her intellect. Every hour she spends alone is an investment in her mind, and the returns are staggering. Her thirst for understanding isn't limited to one area. She dives into diverse topics: psychology, business, history, technology, building a well-rounded arsenal of insights that few can match. This makes her a dangerous opponent in debates and discussions. She doesn't just bring opinions. She brings facts, evidence, and perspectives so layered and thorough that they leave others scrambling to keep up. She's not louder in conversations, but she's sharper, more precise, and undeniably convincing. Her ability to absorb information translates directly into her decision-making and strategy. Whether it's navigating a career move, solving a problem, or managing relationships, she approaches every situation armed with knowledge. She doesn't make impulsive choices. She calculates her actions based on a deep understanding of what works and what doesn't. This intellectual edge allows her to anticipate challenges and stay several steps ahead, often before others even realize there's a game being played. What sets her apart is not just her ability to learn, but her ability to apply what she learns. She connects dots others overlook, finds solutions in unlikely places, and continuously upgrades her skills. Her mind becomes her most potent weapon, a tool she wields with precision and confidence. In a world where knowledge is power, the Sigma female's commitment to constant growth makes her unstoppable. Number 4. She studies human behavior ruthlessly. A Sigma female's solitude isn't just time spent alone. It's her laboratory for understanding the human psyche. With no distractions or superficial interactions clouding her mind, she observes people with razor-sharp focus, analyzing their behavior, motives, and patterns like pieces on a chessboard. She doesn't just notice what people do, she deciphers why they do it. She studies tone, body language, word choices, and micro-expressions with unnerving accuracy. Where others see randomness or emotion, she sees patterns and intentions. Her understanding of human behavior goes beyond surface-level observations. It's almost surgical. She picks apart inconsistencies in people's actions and motives, exposing weaknesses and vulnerabilities they don't even realize they have. This makes her a psychological chess master. She predicts moves before they're made, understanding not just the actions people take, but the emotions driving them. Whether it's in personal relationships, professional environments, or social dynamics, she navigates with precision, always staying several steps ahead. Manipulation attempts? She spots them instantly and dismantles them without breaking a sweat. Lies? They're like neon signs to her. Her ruthlessness doesn't mean she's cruel, but it does mean she's unflinching. If someone tries to deceive her or take advantage, she doesn't confront them in predictable ways. Instead, she uses their own patterns against them, often leaving them blindsided. This ability to outthink and outmaneuver people isn't a game for her. It's survival, strategy, and control. Her deep understanding of human behavior makes her incredibly dangerous to those who underestimate her. People may think they're in control of a situation, but she's already charted every possible outcome and chosen the one that serves her best. Her ruthlessness in studying people isn't just a skill, it's her superpower. Number 5. She masters emotional self-sufficiency, a Sigma. Female's emotional self-sufficiency is her greatest armor. Unlike most people who lean on others for validation, comfort, or reassurance, she thrives entirely on her own. She has no need for constant affirmations or the approval of others, and this makes her unshakable in a world that thrives on exploiting insecurities. Her time spent alone allows her to deeply understand her emotions. She doesn't suppress them or let them control her. Instead, she processes them with clarity and logic. She knows how to self-soothe, analyze her feelings, and move forward without leaning on anyone else. This independence isn't cold or detached, it's empowering. By mastering her emotional world, she gains complete control over her reactions, ensuring that no one can use her emotions against her. Her self-worth isn't tied to relationships, achievements, or societal expectations. It comes from within, built on her principles, values, and self-awareness. She doesn't need compliments to feel beautiful or promotions to feel accomplished. She defines her worth on her own terms, and because of this, she's immune to manipulation. Compliments don't sway her, and criticism doesn't cripple her. She listens, evaluates, and discards what doesn't align with her truth. This emotional autonomy makes her a fortress. When others try to guilt her, pressure her, or play emotional games, they quickly realize they have no leverage. She doesn't crumble under manipulation because there's no weak point to exploit. Her stability is rooted in herself, and no one can take that away. To master emotional self-sufficiency is to master freedom, and the Sigma female embodies this entirely. Her independence isn't just a choice, it's a way of life. She is untouchable because she doesn't depend on anyone to define her worth or shape her happiness. Number 6, she cultivates a calm intensity. A Sigma female radiates a calm intensity that is both intriguing and unnerving. She doesn't need to be loud or dramatic to make an impact. Her quiet demeanor speaks volumes, and it's not just about silence. It's the restrained power beneath it. People sense her strength, even if they can't fully understand it, and that can be intimidating. Her calmness isn't a lack of emotion or passion, it's control. While others may react impulsively or let their emotions take over, she remains composed, calculating her next move with precision. This ability to stay centered in the face of chaos reflects an inner strength that few can match. It's the kind of self-assurance that doesn't need to be broadcast. It's simply there, unshakable and undeniable. This quiet intensity also serves as a protective shield. It keeps people guessing about her true capabilities and intentions. Because she doesn't overshare or seek validation, others often underestimate her, mistaking her calmness for passivity. But this is where her power lies. When the moment comes to act, she strikes with precision and force, catching everyone off guard. Her demeanor can be disarming in one moment and intimidating in the next. It's the subtle confidence of someone who knows they have nothing to prove. This can unsettle those who thrive on dominance or control because they quickly realize they can't rattle her. Her calm is unyielding, and her intensity is a quiet reminder that she's always prepared for whatever comes her way. In a world where many rely on bravado or noise to assert themselves, the Sigma female's calm intensity stands out. It's the power of being steady, focused, and quietly formidable, a combination that demands both respect and caution from anyone who crosses her path. Number 7. She disrupts power dynamics. The Sigma female is a natural disruptor of power dynamics, and her mere existence challenges traditional structures. She doesn't conform to established hierarchies or seek approval from authority figures, which instantly sets her apart. In a world where many people jockey for position, recognition, or influence within a rigid system, she refuses to play by those rules, and that makes her dangerous to anyone relying on those dynamics for control. Her independence is a direct affront to traditional power structures. She doesn't need validation from a boss, a partner, or society at large, which makes her immune to tactics that others use to maintain control, such as praise, punishment, or social exclusion. While others might fear the consequences of stepping out of line, she thrives on forging her own path, knowing she doesn't need to fit into anyone's mold to succeed. This refusal to conform allows her to approach power differently. She doesn't fight for dominance through aggression or manipulation. Instead, she operates outside the system, carving her own space where the usual rules don't apply. This can destabilize those at the top, as they often don't know how to respond to someone who can't be controlled or influenced in conventional ways. Her ability to dismantle hierarchies isn't just passive, it's strategic. She recognizes how systems operate, identifies their weaknesses, and navigates them on her own terms. Whether in a workplace, a relationship, or a social group, she instinctively levels the playing field. This threatens those who rely on traditional power dynamics to assert authority, as they quickly realize she won't submit, obey, or compete in their game. By rejecting the need for validation and hierarchy, the Sigma female becomes a force that shifts the balance of power. She disrupts not out of rebellion, but because she doesn't need what the system offers. and that makes her unstoppable. Number 8. She thrives in solitude but dominates in company. A Sigma female's preference for solitude is not a weakness, it's her strength. While she thrives in her own company, using that time to recharge, grow, and strategize, her occasional forays into social or professional spaces are nothing short of commanding. Her rare presence in these settings makes her stand out in ways that those who are constantly seen can't replicate. Because she doesn't seek attention or engage unnecessarily, her appearances are deliberate. When she chooses to step into the spotlight, it's with intention and purpose. People notice her immediately, not because she's the loudest or most assertive, but because her quiet confidence fills the room. This contrast between her usual solitude and her occasional involvement makes her all the more intriguing and influential. Her ability to dominate in company comes from her observant nature. While others are focused on being heard or noticed, she listens, watches, and calculates. By the time she speaks or takes action, it's clear she understands the dynamics better than anyone else in the room. Her words carry weight because they're precise and insightful, and her actions are impactful because they're backed by thought and preparation. This unpredictability adds to her mystique. People don't know when she'll appear or what she's thinking, which makes them pay attention when she does show up. She commands respect without demanding it, and her presence has a gravity that draws others in. By thriving in solitude and dominating in company, the Sigma female achieves the perfect balance of independence and influence. She's never reliant on social settings, but when she chooses to engage, she becomes the most compelling person in the room, an enigma who is both self-contained and undeniably powerful. Number 9. She weaponizes her silence. The Sigma female's silence is a weapon more powerful than words. She understands that speaking too much dilutes her influence, so she strategically uses silence to control the narrative. While others fill the air with chatter and noise, she remains calm and observant, her silence a deliberate choice that keeps others off balance. People can't predict her next move, and that unpredictability is where her power lies. Her refusal to overexpose herself is a tactic of control. By saying less and revealing little, she keeps others guessing. In a world where so many are eager to share their opinions or seek validation, she remains an enigma. This quiet mystery draws others in, making them more intrigued by her presence than they would be if she were constantly talking. She doesn't need to prove anything through words. Her actions and her presence are enough, and when she does speak or act, the impact is amplified. Since she doesn't engage casually, every word or action feels calculated, significant, and powerful. People hang on to her words, analyzing each one, because they know she doesn't speak for the sake of filling space. When she chooses to break her silence, it's with precision and purpose. Her silence isn't just about withholding information, it's a way of remaining in control. While others expose their vulnerabilities through constant communication, she keeps her cards close to her chest, revealing only what's necessary. This makes her unpredictable, hard to read, and nearly impossible to manipulate. In a world that values constant noise, the Sigma female weaponizes silence, making it her tool of influence. Her quiet confidence doesn't need to shout for attention. It demands respect simply by being present and knowing when to speak or remain silent. Number 10. She turns vulnerability into strength. The Sigma female's relationship with vulnerability is unlike anything most people understand. While others may shy away from their fears or bury their weaknesses, she faces them head-on, using solitude as a space to confront and overcome them. Time alone is her crucible, where she refines herself by turning what could be her greatest vulnerabilities into powerful sources of strength. Rather than seeing fear, self-doubt, or past failures as weaknesses, she uses them as stepping stones for growth. Every moment of solitude becomes an opportunity for deep self-reflection, forcing her to address what scares her or holds her back. Instead of avoiding discomfort, she welcomes it, knowing that by confronting these parts of herself, she's breaking down the barriers that could otherwise limit her potential. This transformation is slow and deliberate. She doesn't rush through the process of healing or growth. She works patiently, methodically, using her vulnerabilities as raw material for building resilience. Each fear she faces and each weakness she acknowledges becomes a tool she can wield in future challenges. Her emotional scars become sources of wisdom, and her past mistakes fuel her ability to move forward with greater insight and confidence. This ability to turn vulnerability into strength makes her formidable in ways others can't comprehend. Where people often feel broken by their vulnerabilities, she becomes whole through them. Her emotional strength is rooted not in perfection, but in the acceptance of her flaws, and the knowledge that they are what make her unbreakable. The Sigma female doesn't just survive her vulnerabilities, she thrives because of them. She's a living example that true strength doesn't come from being flawless. It comes from embracing and mastering the parts of ourselves that we are often taught to hide. In the end, the Sigma female is a force that defies convention and expectation. She is a paradox, simultaneously independent and influential, quiet yet commanding, vulnerable yet unbreakable. Through her solitude, she builds the inner strength that makes her untouchable and unstoppable. Every moment spent alone is an investment in her growth, turning weaknesses into weapons, silence into power, and every challenge into a stepping stone toward mastery. Her ability to move through life without the need for validation or external support makes her a rare breed, one who operates not by the rules of the world, but by her own. This makes her unpredictable, a master of human behavior, a strategist who can turn any situation to her advantage. The very traits that make her seem solitary and detached are the same ones that make her a formidable force in any setting. To underestimate a Sigma female is to underestimate the power of quiet strength, strategic isolation, and emotional self-sufficiency. She doesn't need to prove her worth to anyone because she already knows her value. In a world that often values noise over substance, she is a reminder that true power comes from within. And when she chooses to enter the arena, it's with an unstoppable force that no one can control. If you found yourself captivated by the power, mystery, and resilience of the Sigma female, imagine what more you could learn by staying connected. Don't miss out on more thought-provoking insights and powerful strategies for mastering life and relationships. Hit that subscribe button and join a community that values strength, independence, and authenticity. Stay tuned for more content that will challenge, inspire, and empower you to level up in ways you never thought possible. Subscribe now, and let's keep exploring the extraordinary together.